What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Supper Suite at TIFF 2022 for another interview. This one is for the greatest beer run ever. I have some of the cast here. Congratulations. This is one heck of a true story.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
So we always have to do this at a festival because a lot of movies, some people don't know what these movies are about yet. Does anyone want to do a brief synopsis of the greatest beer run ever?
Let's all do one word.
Yes. Can you do like one sentence each, actually?
A guy named Chicky Donahue
brings a case of beer.
So all of his buddies from back home.
Over in Vietnam.
I feel like I should have been doing this the entire weekend with synopses.
I would probably be the only ones that
talk like this now, more efficient. Keep talking like this.
Yeah.
So again, based on a true story here, is there any like teeny tiny detail about the truth of the situation that shocked you? Like we get the broad strokes in the movie, but like a little detail that either isn't heavily focused on or didn't make it into the movie.
That they, the military, when Chicky Donahue was over there, he was over there as a merchant Marine, but also as a civilian as soon as he gets off the boat. They thought he was CIA because he dressed in civilian clothing, and only the CIA dressed in civilian clothing in battle zones. And so he just kind of walked through.
Yeah, wherever he wanted.
Which blows my mind.
Didn't change his clothes once, from what I've...
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
His bag was filled with beer. He couldn't put anything else
Yeah.
there.
And also when he arrived at the port in Saigon, his first friend that he was looking for was like 200 yards from him. Like, it's just wild.
Feels ordained or something.
There's so many things that happen in the movie, and I'm like, no way, no way. And then I sit there and remind myself this is based on a true story. So I don't just flat out tell you all to tell me about your character. Can you each give me one asset about them that you really admired and found especially creatively fulfilling to tap into?
Playing Tom Collins is the first guy that Chicky meets on his travels. And I guess is the real kind of first sense of, at first he's very happy to see him, obviously, but then they wake up the next morning and it's kind of like, okay, you did this crazy thing, but it's time to go home because what you're doing could get you killed or in a lot of trouble.
Tone is not easy. I'll break that up a little. What was it like having conversations with Peter in terms of like setting the right tone for his mission? Because there's a lot of comedic elements to it, but I feel like your section kind of represents both parts, like a lightheartedness, but also, basically teasing the danger that's on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to Tom today, the real Tom Collins, and he was saying, although, it's such a serious situation, a dangerous situation, an dangerous environment, there is still that camaraderie of all the guys being in this together, and there's still a fair amount of jokes and pranks going on. So, and that's what Peter does, kind of laces this whole story, which is set in this like very serious world, but laces it with a lot of lighthearted and funny moments.
It's not an easy thing to do. All right, I'll go back to my my previous question. An asset about your character that was creatively fulfilling to play. Who wants to jump in next?
I played Rick Dugan, who was kind of in the trenches on uncharted territory, and I think logically in the story, it's basically when it really hits the fan, when Chicky, becomes cognizant of the ruthlessness and peril of warfare. But yeah, I mean, to speak about the tone, Pete kind of has a sentiment that it's like the quintessential Farrelly stamp. I think that it like punches you in the gut, makes you feel, and then you laugh at the same time. And it's just on top of all that, just insane that it's a real life story. I mean, incredibly remarkable and heartwarming, really.
Part of what you just described is what keeps me coming back to his movies.
Absolutely.
It's like a big cinematic good time, but there's real value and purpose to stories.
Definitely.
Happy for you guys. You're up next.
I play Kevin McClune, and Kevin is the only one that isn't found by him. He finds Chicky in the middle of the jungle and like spots him. And so Chicky didn't intend to find Kevin when he came to the war, which I think is really fascinating and wild. And Kevin is also actually not a civilian, but like a hired third party. He's not actually serving when Chicky finds him. He did serve, but then he came back as like he specialized in the helicopter radar scramblers. So he was like a specialist that he was paid good money to be there, and like they needed that service. So he was on his way to go fix some helicopters when he literally saw Chicky on the side of the road in a bucket hat and was like, what the heck is going on right now? So I think that's probably the most fascinating thing about
I was reading a little something about you catching a beer too.
Yes, I did catch a beer. I did. I only got one take.
That is
and
incredibly
I
impressive.
caught it.
Was it really just?
It was one take.
or
Well,
what?
Peter was like, I don't know who said it, but they were like, this is a really expensive shot. Like
I wondered
having a
about that
helicopter.
when I saw
and
it.
so they were like, yeah, you get one take. Like, you better be good. And I was like, I'm going to try my best. And I did it. I caught it. But I didn't know that those old beers open. Like, you got to rip them off. Like, you got to rip the tab. Like, they don't open like beers today.
They make you work for the beer.
Yeah. So,
Maybe we're all better off then.
but I did catch the beer.
It's very impressive.
Proud of it. Proud of that. Thanks.
I noted that when I was watching the movie, and then they just sent me the press notes recently, so I'm reading through it. When I saw it was one take, I'm like, shit, like, that's really cool.
It was intense. A lot of pressure.
I say Bobby kind of like tail ends the whole thing. Similar to the first person he sees, I'm the last person he sees. I put Chicky on a plane. And I loved that. That was something that was really easy for me to get behind. Kind of bringing a story to close, the job of the character within the larger script, and then the role that Bobby Pappas had in Chicky's life as like one of his really close friends. After that, they lived together for a number of years. They got an apartment together, and yeah, I think prior to that they lived together. Just kind of bringing the story home. I would say that was.
Gotta highlight Zac a little here. Anyone can feel free to jump in whenever. What is something about him as a scene partner that you really appreciated and maybe caught you by surprise on set?
Well, I've wanted to tell this story. I told it to Zac, but I haven't said it to any of the press yet. But first acting role.
You can't say it ever again today.
I know. I'm only going to say
my
it.
story.
This is a Collider exclusive. No, one of the first roles I ever played in middle school on stage was Troy Bolton in High School Musical 2. And some say I might have done it even better than Zac. No, but I told Zac that like when I got on set, and he got like a little emotional. Because it was like some like full circle weird thing. Like I was literally like in middle school playing a character that he originated, and now I'm like we're doing a film together. I don't know. It was just wild.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool experience for me.
Yeah, that was just the same sort of thing. I didn't play Troy Bolton.
Oh, you didn't?
In
I'm
any
sorry.
kind
No,
of.
you
still
I
can,
didn't
bro.
get them.
There's still time.
I played Gabriella.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, but yeah, same thing. Like grew up watching his films and stuff, and then all of a sudden, like my friends were saying, "Oh, wait, you're in a movie with Zac Efron." It's pretty crazy, but no, getting there on the first day, he was very generous, very collaborative to work with. Like we shared ideas, myself, him, and Pete, and yeah, just had such a fun time shooting those scenes. It was brilliant.
Yeah. In real life, he's just such a mean guy.
I figured.
So no, but he's kind of like Chicky in that sense that he's very open and kind and receptive. I feel to direction. I had a chance to work with him on a movie called Dirty Grandpa. It's
Loved
like
it.
Really art house film, like that kind of
No,
thing.
seriously, I love that one.
He killed it in this, really.
Want to add anything?
I agree. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't worked with him before. I was ready for anything, as you always have to be. But I was so amazed. We just didn't stop running and that we were constantly working and finding new things and nuances and stuff like that. He was so generous the entire time.
To follow up on that, can
I
you
was
give me an
thrilled.
example of something that happened on set where you thought you knew the way it was going to go, but you found something in the moment and the scene changed for the better because of it?
I honestly, I think every single time we would film something, it was a collaborative process between Pete and Zach and myself and other elements and things like that. We had Matt Cook in one of the shots, and we would kind of blend these moments together, and the comedy and the kind of the timing of it, which where's the serious notes, and we'd sort of find that piece together. And that was really satisfying. We had a similar moment with, I think, like a Thai Royal aircraft, which is the plane that Zach gets on in the end of the movie. And I think we had like one time, because they were only going to fire the engines on this thing once. And so it was like a long shot, it was a silhouette shot, but that there was a certain point where they were like yelling instructions to us, and then we could no longer hear the instructions. So it's like, I'm just going to hug you, and then probably you should get on the plane. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm like, okay. See ya. And I guess it worked.
Worked really well.
Yeah.
If you had to bring a beer to a friend that really needed it, what kind of beer would you choose and why?
A large one.
That's a good answer.
High alcohol percentage.
That is
probably.
also a good answer.
My favorite beer is Moretti. We've got this thing in the UK called Moretti, which is lovely. I don't know if you have it out there, but I just want to make sure it's nice and cold. I don't think there's anything worse than having a warm
Put it
beer.
in a Yeti.
You know?
Stressed me out a little bit in the movie, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they're carrying around in those bags. They must have just like gone.
They
It's kind of
seemed
been
happy.
nice
They
to drink.
seemed happy anyways.
PBR, man, you gotta stick with the theme. PBR. Just
Or you could all
classic
choose
beer.
my answer, which is Blue Moon, because Blue Moon is a sponsor of the summer.
that's
Blue Moon,
what we
Blue
met.
Moon.
Blue Moon's my
large.
favorite
That's-
beer. I
That's
actually
what
That's
we met.
also no
Yeah.
BS. It's legit my favorite beer, and
I
I,
love
feel
Blue
like
Moon.
I was meant to be in this studio.
You gotta have it
right
with an
now.
orange.
Body
though.
shots. Blue Moon body shots.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
this is my last interview of the entire festival. I'm down to drink as many of them as I can after this.
Oh, you're good. Right.
Let's do some fun questions. Actually, before I get to the fun questions, because of what goes down in this movie, can you each share an experience where, like, a friend either did something totally out of left field for you that you didn't expect, but was what you needed in the moment, or maybe vice versa, where you went out on a limb to a crazy extent and, you know, swooped in for a friend that really needed you?
I'm just so nice to everyone all the time. I go so far out of my way because I think I was driven to LAX recently, and that during rush hour, and I was like, "Are we married?" Yeah. I think I thought I was in love after that.
I just remember like
You're welcome.
little small things that my friends would do whilst I was trying to get into the business, into this industry. I was working as a labourer, and sometimes work would dry up, and I didn't really have much money, and so going out, my friends would pay for my beers and buy me drinks and stuff. So they're always there for me. They'd always make sure I'm all right, and now I can kind of return the favour a bit. I'll look after them.
Yeah, my buddy Branner, one of my best buddies, he was making his Broadway debut in New York City, and I was flying in to see it with our other best friend, and my flight got diverted because of weather, so I ended up in Chicago and not New York, and I had like 12 hours until he was like taking the stage, so I rented a car and just drove through the night, or not through the night, through the morning / afternoon, and I got there before he got on stage, and it was pretty epic.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Can you top that?
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
film.
film. Yeah.
That's a film.
Yeah.
Simple. Maybe my buddy watched my dog last week. Something simple like that.
Pet sitting is a serious
Make
job.
a big difference. That's all I got.
I'll take it.
I gotta say that years. I want to change my years. That was really moving, but before I had ever really been able to do this as a living, I had an acting teacher, Lauren Patrice Nadler, that I think I owed her like upwards of $1,000 before I booked anything. I would always come in and be like, "Hey, I'm fresh out. I'm gonna have to stop coming to class," and she'd be like, "No, you're good." But yeah, I just wanted to say that if you're going there, I'm going there too, because that's something else.
Important people to
Yeah.
have in this industry. In the worst transition ever, now some silly questions. I'll go with my would you rather question first. Would you rather have to fake sneeze or fake vomit in a scene?
Fake sneeze.
Fake sneeze for sure.
Yeah, fake
Without
sneeze.
question.
You can't pick fake sneeze unless you can do a convincing fake sneeze.
You
I-
can
That's
make
the
us do
rule.
fake
Practice
sneezes
a
now.
sneeze. Fake vomit, you have
Well,
to put some kind of
yeah.
nasty thing in
Yeah.
your
Horrible,
mouth.
like,
Something's
soup.
got
to,
a
like,
projectile.
Yeah.
I don't like throwing up, but I'm just like, how can someone do a convincing fake sneeze where it sounds real?
I've had to fake vomit in a
Yeah.
thing before. I've never had to.
Also,
fake
you could
sneeze.
just cover it, and they can fix it in post. They could get a convincing
cheating.
sneeze.
Yeah.
Is it cheating? But also, we call cheating movie magic.
I mean,
that's what
I get it.
that's.
Yeah, that's why movie making is a team effort where you have a lot of experts in many fields. Here's another somewhat silly one that I love asking. There is a zombie outbreak. You can pick 2 past co-stars to team up with. Who do you pick to give yourself the best chance of surviving?
Oh shit.
Throw everyone under the bus right now too.
Probably choose the real guys. I'd probably choose. Oh, but they
Oh
have
no,
to be in the movie.
real people, not their characters.
Oh.
Yeah, from any.
You could choose
Any-
from
any
this movie or
project,
anything
project.
else you've done.
You work with Batman.
Yeah, I worked with Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
He'd be
you-
pretty badass to. He's a strong man.
I mean, you're He-Man now, so
I can't be my own.
I might have you then.
Can I pick myself? No.
Oh man,
I mean, I feel like Zach would be pretty good.
I'm
Like,
thinking
he's-
Zach. I think he's
Because he's got that whole show where
and
he's like
he
in
did
the
survival.
wild. Yeah.
He's just like shit. Like
Yeah.
he definitely knows a lot about water as well.
I'd never got to work with Russell, but maybe just have Russell Crowe. Seems like a
Yeah.
guy
I
that
think
would get
I'd be
things
so
done.
Yeah,
afraid of him.
Gladiator.
And my mate Paddy Gibson, who's in the new series of Shadow and Bone with me, just for the laughs. I
Yeah.
feel like you need someone to keep you happy.
Maybe Tom
Oh.
Cruise.
That is always a
that's
solid
a-
pick.
Yeah, that guy.
I would pick
That guy.
pick. Yeah, that was unfair.
Oh, you had the Tom Cruise
Him or
guy.
De Niro.
Did you get to train in the crazy stunt planes too?
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys got more training than others, but still, it was pretty incredible just to even be a fly on the wall.
That is one heck of a movie. Did you all give me 2 people?
so.
Who got out of it?
Ben and Zach.
Zach's worth
All
it
right,
too.
Zach
I say
covers.
Kelvin Delgado, who's also in this movie.
Okay.
I trust him with my life. I'm
Yeah,
not you guys.
absolutely,
He was in the
yeah.
trenches with.
Yeah.
Here's like a somewhat more serious question here for each of you. What is your absolute favorite part of the acting process? Whether it's rehearsal, wearing your costume for the first time, finding magic on set, but then also, what's your least favorite part where you see some opportunity for personal growth on a future film?
Wow, this is like
And now
existential.
we went from zombies to deep conversations.
Can't go that
Brace
quickly.
yourselves.
All over the place.
Well, something I hate. That I could definitely. I just don't say anything. Sometimes you're exhausted and you have to like do a really challenging scene, and there's something wrong with your hair or makeup, and so people keep coming. You're trying to start the scene, and people keep coming to you and just kind of like poking something on your face, and that, but you're trying to get angry. Sometimes you're trying to get angry and trying to develop and concentrate on the emotion of anger while people are like poking you, and you're like, I just got to make sure to not direct this at anyone around me, and just keep it in the scene. But yeah, that's always an emotional challenge.
I think the best part is just the collaboration, with people you get to meet, because at the end of the day, I feel like it is a director's medium, and I don't know, the people, the collaboration, right? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like what you said about this, like magic when you find this kind of synergy. Is synergy the right word? Where you're just in the flow, you're in autopilot, and it's only until after cut is called that you're like, oh, that felt decent. That felt all right.
Yeah, it's cool coming away every project with like a new group of collaborators and a new it's really fun. I'm trying to think of something I don't like.
Doesn't even
I might be the
necessarily-
only
Positive
one
guy.
who's hating.
Doesn't necessarily
yeah,
have to be something you don't like, but something that you want to like explore more of to,
I need
hone
to
your
get better
skills.
at my like red carpet face. You know, when they take your photo and you don't know if you need to
Yeah.
smile or be serious.
Let's see your
And, like-
smiles. Let's see it. Oh, it's good.
That's fantastic.
But then like everyone says my eyes get really squinty.
That's cool though.
That's what
It's
you
like
want.
Clint
Smolder.
No, it's like I'm tired.
Eastwood. Yeah, like Clint Eastwood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
tired.
That is a good example, though. All right, I have to let you guys go soon, but before I do, guess what? I want to ask about upcoming projects. Masters of the Universe. So, when you are bringing back a really popular property, it fascinates me because you want to give viewers what they want in that particular thing, but you also want to be able to add something new to it. So, what could you say to the fans out there that could make them comforted in the fact that they're going to get what they want, but also something they don't know they need from that character yet?
Go.
Bye.
Say all of that right now. Yeah, well, I mean, you have some of the most talented individuals on the planet, excluding myself, working around the clock to make sure that that's exactly what happens. So I think people can put their trust in that.
I will take that. What else do Shadow and Bone?
Shadow and Bone
Season 2.
Season 2. Yeah.
Can you tease anything about how that show is going to evolve? I mean, it's a similar thing. Everyone's coming back for more of what they loved so much from season 1, but you can't just do the same thing over and over again.
No. I think what's going to make season 2 so great is we're building on the characters, but also introducing some great new characters. We've got Lewis Tan, who's in Mortal Kombat. Who's, you're into your martial arts, so yeah, he's good. And then Paddy Gibson, who's in the OA, and he's brilliant as Prince Nikolai. And it's just gonna continue to grow and develop. And I don't want to give too much away. I could get myself in trouble. But
I hate
I'll just
those
say
questions.
it's gonna be good.
I believe you. Huge congratulations on this movie. Thank you for coming by today. To everybody out there, the greatest beer run ever. Keep an eye out for it. And thank you so much for watching this interview at the Supper Suite at TIFF 2022.